So another one that I'm interested in, I did play the first one on the 3DS from Atlus, Soul Hacker 2. So this looks like it's different than the first one because the first one is sort of a dungeon type RPG, which is not really a fan of that type of architect, which is like a first-person view, but it is still turn-based there. But this one looks like it's more of multiple characters in a battle turn-based. So again, look interesting. I'm gonna get it on the PS5. Yes, it is weird that this game is not on the Switch for whatever reason, but you know, whatever that's at this call, that's their call there. But the best part here is that thank you, Atlus, and that is this game will have English dub. Yes, and because like I said, One Piece Odyssey doesn't have one. Please, Namco Bandai, please, by the love of God, again, add English dub. But anyway, with Soul Hacker 2, yes, there is going to be English dub. Awesome. So in part 2, I want to give my thoughts on the Summer Game Fest The Last of Us presentation. So Neil Druckmann's there. Of course, a lot of people have opinion about this guy. So the gist is this guy is like sort of an asshole. From what I heard, to some extent, depends on the situation, it could be. And I'm also probably guessing that if you kind of piss him off, what do you think he's going to do? I mean, he could be humble and say, yeah, whatever. Or he could be an a-hole back because, you know, you're being an a-hole, so what do you think? Of course, he's going to be an a-hole. But beside the point, I don't know the guy personally. But yeah, there have been stories about him, how he's a feminist. He does look up to Anita Sarkeesian from what I heard. And I think at one point he even kind of criticized the people who like anime. Again, I could be wrong for that one, but whatever. That's what Neil Druckmann for some people. So, of course, he did co-direct the second game. Of course, you know what happened to that game. Like I said before in my previous video, the game weakness to some extent is that, and I'm not saying the story's bad, because again, I haven't played yet, but people felt like the game was political, and that was it. And again, potato situation, whatever. He mentioned a lot of things about the franchise. First, yes, in 2023, it's been confirmed that there will be some sort of standalone The Last of Us multiplayer, because they did want a multiplayer of The Last of Us Part 2. They said they rather focus on the story-driven, which kind of makes sense. So he said, hey, why not just do like what Call of Duty Warzone, a multiplayer game only? So why not with this one, a multiplayer only Last of Us? So it kind of makes sense. It showed the concept art of what it is. Do I really care? Not really to some extent, but for people who do, there you go, you finally have it. But sometime 2023, 2024, that's what a lot of people now guessing, judging by the presentation. But Neil Druckmann kind of said it there. So of course, the next thing they talk about is The Last of Us live show at HBO Max with Pedro Pascal and other people. And the interesting part here is that the voice actors of Ellie and Joel are going to be also in the show, Ashley and Troy Baker respectively. So they're not going to say what their characters is, but they are going to be in the show. Again, am I excited? Well, I'm not really a Last of Us fan, so I don't care. Didn't really care about the Halo. I did watch it, but for me personally, when I watch something like that, I'm like, yeah, sure, it's just something to watch. At the same time, probably playing with my phone or the Switch OLED. So that's really what my mentality when I watch some of this show. Heck, same goes with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Miss Marvel. But again, it is what it is. Just me there. So again, what's the point? Why do it? Easy money. Second, also, like I said before, just like mobile game, exposure for people who are not in tune to the franchise. Look what happened with The Witcher. People watch The Witcher on Netflix. Boom. People were playing The Witcher game. Halo to some extent. Another one is, I think, Persona, Joker at Smash Bros. Ultimate, Persona 5. You can see the idea there. So I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of people who watch The Last of Us say, oh, I want to play The Last of Us game. Again, it is what it is. Do I think it's going to be good? Well, you just have to wait and see. The rule really for me is that watch it first, then give your opinion. Don't assume. Even so, you probably have an inkling it could be true, but you have to have that confirmed, just saying that. So, they also showed, and it was leaked by PlayStation themselves, and that is The Last of Us Part 1. So at first I said, what is it? It's going to be like a retold story in the vision of Neil Druckmann. According to him, not so much. It's just that when he said about remastering for the PlayStation 5 from the ground up, He wants the visual to be the same as what he did with The Last of Us Part 2. Makes sense. But when it comes with the story, there's no new line, there's no new story, there's no altered story, whatever. It is the same as the first one. It was already been confirmed by Ashley and Troy Baker. They said, yeah, they did not add any new lines in the remastered version. It was basically just cosmetic, the graphic, that's really it there. So why even do it if you have The Last of Us for the PS4 to some extent? Well, say you don't have a PS4 and your first PlayStation console is a PS5. There you go. And I mean, he kind of said it, besides, again, money, but, well, no shit, is that he wants people who only have a PS4, who never played The Last of Us ever, to have a chance to play this. Makes sense, because, again, what if you're someone without a PS4? You never had it. You only have a Wii U in your next PlayStation console, or your very first PlayStation console is PS5. So it kind of makes sense. And you say, well, it's backwards compatible. Sure, but to the general consumer, a lot of time they're not in tune, so they might not even think about that. Just saying. And again, do I think they should do a remaster for this game? No, but I think from what I understand by the presentation, Neil Druckmann really wanted to do this to his vision. Whatever, it is what it is there. I mean, don't like it, don't buy it. Just saying that. So, of course, this franchise to some extent is questionable because, like I said, with The Last of Us Part 2, my opinion, the whole thing, from the get-go, it's just another PlayStation story-driven single-player game. That's it. It has its own story. If you don't like the story, then I feel for you, but that's how it goes. So, again, like I said, telling Neil Druckmann to change his story for The Last of Us Part 2, to some extent, it's a disservice. That's his creation, that's his vision, and you gotta kind of give them, some sort of bone for that. I mean, imagine if you're in a situation where you have your vision and they tell you, I don't like that, I'm not gonna support it, or you better do it, or I'm gonna pounce you, whatever. That's not cool. So if you don't like the direction, just don't support it. Yeah, like I said, I feel for you that the story for The Last of Us Part 2 was something not to your liking, but again, it's his vision. You don't like it, it is what it is there. So, at least with the situation with The Last of Us multiplayer standalone and The Last of Us Part 1, is that Neil Druckmann is not involved. He's not involved. So he's not a director, he's not a producer. He's probably going to be an overseer, which probably is just going to leave them alone. So that's sort of a good news there. Second, he basically said that he is working on a new project, and he can't announce it yet. So again, is it going to be good or not? Who knows? Is it going to be political? Possibly. Is he going to put in his sort of feminist element? Possibly, but you just have to wait and see. So he's not ready to talk about it, but if you're wondering what's doing, well, there you go. So it is what it is. So those are my thoughts on The Last of Us franchise at the Summer Game Fest. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not too excited, but I'm not like, oh my God, here to go again. Here's Neil Druckmann. He sucked, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. It's a business. He has his own vision. Just have to wait and see what it is. And again, for the uber fan of this franchise, I feel for you because of the story behind it. But again, you just have to understand it's also business. So for me, thoughts is cool. They have options. You got the multiplayer, you got the live action with Pedro Pascal, and then you get to play supposed to be a definitive version of this game. Sure, why not? But it is what it is there. So with that, I'll see you guys later.